everyone, and welcome to PDF Perfection, Bluebeam Editing Supremacy. My name is Juliana, and I work in marketing here at MicroCAD. And today's presenter is Julian Nino, our applications specialist. Today, we'll see how Bluebeam empowers architectures, engineering, and construction teams to connect the office and feel seamlessly, providing a reliable, easily accessible single source of truth. Throughout the webinar, as usual, you can ask a question on the left-hand corner. You can ask Julian to revisit a step or ask any questions. And in the upper left-hand corner, you will find links to our social media website and YouTube channel. We post all of our webinars there at the end, so you can share with colleagues or watch it on your own time. And without further ado, I'll pass it on to Julian. Hi, Juli.
Hi, Juliana, thank you. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And once again, welcome everyone to this Bluebeam webinar that we have for you prepared today. Now, when it comes to the title of our webinar, you're going to notice that we have perfection and as well the word supremacy, right? But for those of you that are not familiar with Bluebeam, it's going to be this software that some users might try to understand it as a PDF reader, right? And the thing is that Bluebeam is a little bit more than that, right? Because Bluebeam in particular, the software review is intended for the AEC industry, right? Where you're going to be able to do some markups, right? And when I say create, you can basically create a PDF from the start. Most of the time, what we are doing is converting or exporting, right? Those markups are going to be heavy, and especially when we are doing some annotation for our projects, and they are going to be really easy to use and important for our day-to-day tasks, right? Organization is key when we are presenting this type of documents. And last but not least, collaboration, right? So we mentioned perfection and supremacy, right? And that comes with the following question. So from time to time, where we are going to see is going to be review Bluebeam or Adobe PDF Reader, right? So that is a huge question that we receive a lot on the technical side of things, and as well our marketing and sales staff, right? And first of all, you need to answer just a couple of few questions, right? Which type of license are you going to use for Bluebeam or Adobe, right? So in the side of review, we have three types of licenses, which are going to be the basics, the core, and complete. And on the side of Adobe, we are going to have two types of license, right? We are going to have the standard and we are going to have the pro. Now, the main thing, and I will say one of the more important when it comes to selecting your PDF reader or editor is going to be in which industry I'm working, right? And most of our customers come with the question, hey, but I already have an Adobe license, right? And the question is going to be, well, are you able to export your drawings from AutoCAD or Revit to Adobe and work seamlessly with them? And some of them are going to say, hey, I wasn't aware that I was able to do that, right? So with the different type of review licenses, you're going to be able to do that, right? Because it has integration with some of the major and favorite softwares from Autodesk, such as AutoCAD, such as Revit, right? Even has integration with other third-party softwares from Autodesk, such as SketchUp, right? And you name them. The idea behind using this review Bluebeam software is that it's going to be the perfect fit for the AEC industry, right? Architecture, engineering, and construction industry. Following that, well, you're going to start taking your decision. Well, review sounds like something that I will use because all my staff are either engineers or architects, right? So what I'm going to do, if maybe I don't have that type of users, that is okay. You can always find a specific type of feature or tool that you might find useful. Following that question that we receive is going to be, well, pricing, right? And for that, we are going to have our sales staff and as well our marketing team is going to help us to understand, okay, what is going to be your end use and your preference. All of these softwares, as you can see, we are showcasing some of the different prices. They are going to depend on what, okay? Most of the softwares have annual subscriptions, and you're going to see, okay, review seems a little bit expensive, right? But the thing is that this software is intended for, as I mentioned, this industry, architecture and engineering. For example, if you're using the Acrobat type of products, probably you're going to have that Adobe suite, right? Because maybe you're heavy on graphic design, so probably you're going to have Photoshop, you're going to have InDesign, all these other tools, and probably you're going to be using the Adobe suite. Now, what happens with the review side of things is that you're going to be working heavily with drawings, with Revit models, right? And you need to create those markups, and the different type of license that we have for review are going to allow you to do those really complex tasks really fast, really simple. Now, I mentioned both type of products are going to be subscription based, meaning that you need to pay a fee annually, right? And depending on the task that you're going to do, well, you're going to take your decision, right? And you have us, right? So you can take an informative decision when it comes to selecting your software. Now, in addition to that, we are going to find a bunch of pros and cons, right? So most of the softwares are going to have basic features on their plans, and you're going to start noticing that when it comes to the tasks that you want to use, both of them are pretty balanced, right? If I want tech support, all of the different type of license are going to have tech support. But what is going to happen when you need to have centralized storage, right? Probably you're not going to have that on the Acrobat side of things, right? Training courses. When you purchase your training courses, right off the bat, you're going to have access to Bluebeam University, which is a great deal when it comes to some of those first-time users, right? On the Acrobat side of things, I'm not completely saying that they don't have access to training courses, but you might need to start digging deeper, right? So for the YouTube website, for paid courses and why not. So you just need to spend some additional time to start learning those features and those tools for the software. And now I also like to mention one of the major features that we have across the board, which is going to be measuring tools. And if you're familiar with MicroCAD, you know that we do training and consulting for the AC industry, right? So probably if you're here, it means that either you use AutoCAD, you use Revit, you use any construction type of software to achieve your design intents, to achieve your projects, right? So measurement tools when it comes to a PDF reader. Now, not all of our clients are going to have access to AutoCAD or access to Revit, right? Probably our clients are going to have really basic set of features, such as maybe a document reader and sometimes a PDF reader. And they are going to send you some requirements, and you might need to use measurement tools, right? Maybe they are going to send you some drawings. You need to do some measurement tools. Now, notice the comparison between the two softwares, right? Review basically is going to allow you to make that transition or make that bridge between a heavy program such as AutoCAD to a basic type of format, which is going to be PDF. So Bluebeam definitely is going to be that useful tool when it comes to quickly creating measurements, doing some area calculations. You can even do bids for your projects using this tool. And now I only mentioning AutoCAD and Revit, but if you're already there in the construction industry, right? If you're a general contractor, on a day-to-day basis, you're going to receive a bunch of different PDF formats, right? For specs, for drawings from shop drawings, right? So you're going to receive a bunch of information, and the PDF is going to be kind of like that um, basic universal format that you're going to use. So in this side of things, I'm going to incline to say, okay, maybe you're going to be needing Bluebeam instead of the basic side of things of Acrobat. Now, this is going to be kind of like a general overview between the two side of the two different softwares. And as you can see, I'm showcasing kind of like basic day-to-day uses for both, right? I will say that Bluebeam, as it is a major desktop software, you're not going to have kind of like that quick access to your mobile device or to your web browser, something that you can find in the Adobe side of things, right? But as I mentioned that, you're going to have another set of features that is going to be really useful, right? Which is access to AutoCAD and Revit, right? And you're going to have access to another two features that are only available in the Bluebeam side of things, which are going to be Studio and Bluebeam Cloud, right? So if you're wondering, hey, I'm not going to have access from my mobile device when I'm on site, so what do you have to offer, Bluebeam, right? So they have their own settings, right, outside of the desktop software, where I'm going to be able to create markups and whatnot. So doing kind of like a recap, what do we have available in Revu is going to be that, well, I can keep track of my comments, I can customize permissions, I can speed up the design review, I can manage project internally inside the software or in the cloud. I'm going to be able to get the data faster. I'm going to have a QA and QC type of process. I'm going to be able to integrate with SharePoint because we all know most of the construction these days, we are going to need that centralized area where we store our data. We are going to be able to quickly organize all the markups, all the nodes, and we are going to be able to use some of these features to quickly build bits, right? Now, I mentioned Studio. What is the big deal about Studio that we have in Bluebeam, right? We are going to be able to collaborate with multiple users across the globe, right? Creating quick annotations, quick markups. Everyone is going to be able to have access to those features. When it comes to security, we are going to be able to protect those files, right? So we are not going to have any issues when it comes to, okay, someone else is accessing my document and making changes, right? So permissions as well are going to be available. And the other feature as well is going to be the Bluebeam Cloud. This is a platform that is living on a web browser where you are going to be able to quickly access with your Bluebeam ID, right? And just simply go ahead and start collaborating with your users, having access from your mobile device, from your tablet, right? And in this case, okay, when I'm comparing Bluebeam against Adobe, yes, I'm going to have access to those features, right? Not in the same platform, but I'm going to have access from my cell phone using Bluebeam Cloud. Now, this is kind of like the time for questions. We were mentioning supremacy, right? We were mentioning comparison between the two softwares. This is kind of like a day-to-day that we receive from our customers. Hey, I have a license on Adobe. I have a license on Bluebeam. Which one should I keep? And I will say this is kind of like your time to go ahead and ask us your questions.
Thank you so much, Julie, for that wonderful presentation. And yeah, as Julie mentioned, you can ask a question on the left-hand corner. And I will start with the first question. It says, which is the main feature that you see used to compare both softwares?
Alrighty, so the main feature I will say for both software. So if I have Bluebeam and I have Adobe and I receive a PDF, and particularly I'm working with a drawing, right? I will say that a great feature to compare both is going to be the measurement and the scale tool, right? So those particular features are available in both softwares. But the thing about Review Bluebeam is that you're going to be able to calibrate your own scale, right? in addition to add measure quantities to scale it, right? So this is a great tool that is going to allow you to produce markups, red lines on PDF like really fast, and you're going to be able to share it with your team. Now, mentioning this feature, you also have the integration with the softwares that I mentioned from Autodesk. So, for example, you can export directly from AutoCAD to Bluebeam, and it's going to automatically have that scale. So this is great because it's not all the time you need to go ahead and calibrate your measure. So that is kind of like one feature that I really like about Review, that sometimes in Adobe, you need to go ahead and have an actual measurement on site to calibrate and to scale your drawings, right? So this is one of the main features that I use to compare both softwares. I could say the second one is that depending on the license type, you're going to have a batch feature inside Review. And by what I mean by batch is that I'm going to be able to recreate that measurement, right, for multiple drawings. So definitely that is going to be my answer. Calibration and measurement. That is the feature that I compare in both softwares.
Perfect. Thank you. Second question is, which software is easy to learn and use?
All right. So in this case, I will say that kind of like both are really easy to learn and use. Now, a lot of people get kind of like scared when it comes to the use of Bluebeam because the first thing that you're going to notice is that it's a black screen, right? So users are kind of like accustomed to using Adobe because most of the time is already installing your Windows computer, right? So I'm kind of like just showcasing right here Bluebeam. I will say Bluebeam is a little bit easier because right off the back, you're going to have access right here to the help menu, and you're going to have access to the technical support set of things and to Bluebeam University. So what is going to give you right there with Bluebeam University is if you have your license, you just need to log in and you have tutorials for anything. Now, I'm not saying that Adobe doesn't have that one, but when it comes to Adobe, probably you're accustomed to simply go ahead and select and read your PDF and markups, right? Right here, when it comes to Bluebeam, you just need to start learning your icons, right? So don't worry about learning any of those softwares. And actually, easiest way to learn it is just have access to those quick videos, quick tutorials that you have right there. Now, I found it that the link to Bluebeam University is really fast to access. When it comes to Adobe, I might need to go ahead and look for YouTube videos or access to their software. I'm sorry, to their website, right? To look for tutorials, and sometimes they are not that easy to come, right? So the first thing that you look for Adobe tutorials, so probably you're going to see first is the Photoshop. So you need to make sure that you need to type in the Acrobat tutorials, right? And from right there on the list, probably you need to go to a user guide, right? Or access to the cloud. So definitely Bluebeam is going to be a little bit easy to learn. So just don't get scared when you're starting with that Bluebeam University or when you see the software like black like this, right?
Thank you. Next question is, what are the cons of both? What are the cons of both software?
Okay, so I was mentioning a couple of pros, right? But I will say cons. It's going to be kind of like the first thing that you notice is going to be the pricing, right? So most of the people that call us or our customers when they call, they are kind of like saying that that is going to be the pricing, right? Or the learning curve. But I will say that you just need to spend kind of like a couple of minutes, taking a quick look on this type of webinars, taking a quick look on a YouTube video, giving us a call, right? Or giving a call to your Adobe seller, right? And just ask specifically what do you need the software to do for you, right? Because kind of like the major con that you're going to find when comparing both of these softwares is going to be the pricing. Other than that, you're going to find multiple different set of tools available for you when you're using a PDF reader or editor.
Got it. Next question is, for which industry will you recommend each software?
Alrighty, so definitely I will say that let's start with Adobe this time, right? So Adobe Acrobat, you're going to find that, well, from the start, it's going to be available in the installation of your Windows computer, right? So most of the offices probably are going to have it. So industry-wise, I will say is kind of like more dependent on your profession, right? So maybe if you're not going to do any architecture or engineering, you just need to quickly read a PDF. Well, Adobe is going to be your solution, right? But if actually you're going to be doing architecture, engineering, Bluebeam, you're going to get in love with that software, right? It's going to give you so much tools. It's going to be really easy to create markups, right? And something else that is worth mentioning is that maybe if you're in that graphic design industry, right, and you have the Adobe Cloud, which includes Photoshop and all these softwares inside the cloud, well, definitely you're going to have access to that Adobe Acrobat, right? So Adobe maybe for more kind of like a design graphic industry, right? And Bluebeam for the construction, architecture, and engineering industry.
Thank you. Um, Another question, this is the last. Can I customize Bluebeam looks and tools?
Can yes, definitely. And I believe that's kind of like the major thing that you're going to notice between our customers is that the first time when they launch their software, what they are going to see is kind of like this empty canvas right here, right? Or maybe even they are going to see like this black background. So the customization is quite simple because actually you're going to notice that as any Windows type software, you're going to have kind of like this bar right here with file, edit, and all that. And right here, where it says review and preferences, we are going to have a quick access, right? Where I can start with the basic customization. Some customers prefer the light background, so you can go ahead and change the light theme right there. So you're going to start getting a little bit familiar with the looks that maybe you have on Adobe, right? And when it comes to the tools, well, notice right here, you have options to create profiles. So as an example, I have kind of like a demo profile, but maybe you're going to be on the field issues side of things, right? So maybe you're going to need this different set of tools for plumbing issues on the side, electrical issues on the side, right? Maybe you're kind of like more an advanced type user, right? So you can go ahead and create a review profile that is going to be advanced, right? And when I select that advanced option, it's going to give me all the tools available right here, measurement tools to the right, right? So having access to those tools, so I'm just going to create a quick PDF. You're going to notice that they are going to be easy to handle. And one thing that sometimes we forgot to even do is just leave our mouse just still for a couple of seconds. Right there, I'm going to be able to see what that tool does, right? And the logos and the images that I have right there on the tool are really intuitive. So if I need a pen, well, I can go ahead and start using that pen, right? If I need to draw a cloud, I can go ahead and start drawing the cloud. So when it comes to markups, right, and having access to the tools, we just need to take a quick look right there and see what the tool is going to do, right? So when it comes to customization, assigning, removing, adding tools, the software is really easy to use, and you're going to start right away getting into the field with using this PDF editor for your projects.
Thank you, Juli. And I see a question that maybe you can make more sense of, but it says, can I migrate my Adobe tools into MicroCAD? Um, it said maybe they meant Bluebeam.
Let me take a look right here. Can I migrate my Adobe tools into MicroCAD? So maybe you can ask it again, Michael. But maybe you have some tools predefined on your Adobe, right? What we could try to do is just compare which tools are you using, and and see if within Bluebeam we are going to be able to match that tool. To give you an example, I know Adobe is really heavy into form creation, right? So for example, right here within Bluebeam, if you need to look for forms right here, just to give you an example, when you launch Bluebeam, you're going to go to the help menu and you're going to say find tools and commands, right? So just an example, if you're really heavy into forms in Adobe, you can type in right here form in Bluebeam. So you're going to see all the available forms that I have within Bluebeam, right? So it's not going to be, let me just check. Yeah, Bluebeam, yeah. So it's not going to be that much to migrate. So you are just going to try to look for the tools that you need from Adobe to Bluebeam. And what is great is that you're going to be able to customize it. Just to give you an example, let's say that you're heavy into the cloud tool, right? So notice right here, we have cloud and cloud plus. If at any point you need to customize your tools or importing or add them from Adobe, what you can do is simply right click, and notice I'm going to have quick access right here to customize. And from right here, I'm going to be able to look for any tool that I want to add. To add a new tool is going to be really simple. You just need to add it right here and define in which toolbar do you need to use. So don't worry that much about migration. Just make kind of like a quick list of the tools that you want to use from Adobe to Bluebeam, and we can try to look them. I know most of the basic tools that are for markup creation, you're going to find it in both softwares. Now, just let me show you a quick tool that is really awesome right here for Bluebeam is the tool chest, right? So with the tool chest, you can kind of like customize your tools. Let me give you an example. I'm going to say that I would like to create a box with a rectangle, right? So I can merge those two. So notice I'm going to right click on both of those, and I can add to my tool chest and my tools, right? So next time that I need to add the rectangle, single is going to be like that. That ellipse, single is going to be like that, right? Maybe I would like to merge those two to create a new symbol. So what I can do is right click, group that tool, and then save it to my tool chest. So notice, next time that I need to do kind of like that symbol, I'm going to have it available. So yeah, when it comes to importing or migrating tools, don't worry about that. I will say just take some time to try to figure which tools are going to be really handy for you, and you can start creating them right here in review.
Thank you, Juli. And I think we have this. This is the last question, I believe. Sometimes I get an error when I'm making a PDF. Is there a certain way to create it?
Alrighty, Michael. So we have a couple of options. So first things first, maybe you're creating a PDF from another software. Just to give you an example, let's say that you're working with Microsoft Word, right? And you would like to save your file, right, as an extension, and why not? So just to give you an example, This is going to be a blank document for Word. Now, my recommendation is going to be the following. If you have Bluebeam installed, notice that right here at the top right, you're going to have access to create the PDF, right? So that's an option. Or you can simply go ahead, File, Save As, and right here select the option for PDF, right? Now, right here, Michael says the question was for a PDF A. Let me think about that. The question was for a PDF A. Can you try to add a little bit more to that question, Michael? Or just give me a couple of minutes, try to figure it out. I'll wait and see if you can type it right in the chat.
Okay, in the meantime, I would like to remind everyone that if you want to learn more about Bluebeam, you can always take a custom training with Julian. And we also offer group classes online. So yeah, be sure to be checking the MicroCAD website. It would be like the training option on top, and I believe we have it on the left corner of the screen in case you want to check them out. Um, and
So
what
maybe
else?
something that we can do, Juliana, is maybe Michael can just send us a quick um, message later or a quick email to our marketing team, right? Maybe we
I
can
think
take a look at it.
they replied. Holly, can you read it?
When I try to create a PDF to make a log file to email out. Oh, maybe right here could be this option. So, well, maybe I think we can take it after the webinar. Maybe we can follow up with Michael with a little bit more explanation because right here we have an option to create emails right away. And for that, you need to have integrated that Outlook extension, right? But you can simply as well do the following. Just create or save your PDF, save as, right? And when you want to email it out or log the file, there's a couple of options regarding security. But yeah, maybe let's take this one outside of the webinar and we can help Michael outside.
Really, thank you. And thank you, Julie, again for this presentation. And thank you to everyone who attended. Please know that we will be sending the on-demand recording, I believe, 24 hours after the webinar. So yeah, you will have it there in your email, and we'll also upload it to our YouTube channel if you want to check it out there. And these are our contact numbers, information, my contact information down below in case you just want to let us know your thoughts or have any questions regarding the webinar. We will happy to answer those. So yeah, this is it for today, I believe. Thank you, everyone, and thank you, Juli. Have a great day, and I guess Merry Christmas ahead.
Thanks. Goodbye.